do all this. Oh, I don't know how to do all this stuff in my life. Oh, I don't know how to get over trauma. Oh, I'm beating myself up. Oh, you're so pretty. You have everything that I don't. Oh, you're so rich. You have everything that I don't. That's you. Listen, stop it. I'm Angela Shelton. I have been around the world. I've been a whole bunch of things. I've done movies. I've written books. I was Safe Side Super Chick. I won one of these too. And I was on the cover of magazines and in runway. And I've been in the fashion world. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't even matter at all. None of it. You know why? Because I love you. I'm going to tell you all my secrets. Ready? When I was in the fashion world, deep dive me, you can look me up. I've done a whole lot of stuff in my world and won a lot of stuff and stuff, right? So I'm going to tell you how I got over all my stuff and to get you out of your limiting blah 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 blahs thinking that you're not magnificent. Okay? So when I was at the height of my modeling and in the fashion world, I was around all those superstars. I was just like 5th back or 10th. I was the proletariat model. I was the working class, making like $1,500 a day, tops 5,000, while all those other girls were making like 10 grand. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point was, when I was at the height of my pretty, like people say, you're so pretty. You have everything. You've got money and looks and all this stuff. Listen, at the height of my modeling career, when I was on the cover of magazines and in all of these runways, I was Giorgio Armani's little fit model. I was also Bill Blass's fit model. I mean, I was around that world. Listen, at the height of it was the worst of my self-abuse, self-mutilation, self-hatred. It was like a little thunderstorm of self-hatred and self-abuse. Okay? And I'm in my 50s now, and I'm in love with life and love with myself. I mean, not that way, not in the creepy weirdo, like, oh, I love myself. It's more like I love God. And so therefore I love me. And I got over, like, I am an expert at getting over self-abuse and self-hatred. I even wrote a book about that after I did my documentary. If you deep dive me, I did my documentary. I drove around the country and I met every Angela Shelton to survey women in America and find out how we were doing, right? This is after my modeling career. And I was just curious how we're doing, because I noticed when I went from my modeling career into acting, and I lived in LA for a long time, LA and New York. I've lived all over the world. I've been to every state in the country and many countries and every state. Not everybody can say that. I get it. I get a sticker. I want a patch that I've been to every state in America, including our stepchild, Puerto Rico. Listen, I mean, I've done it. So my point is like showing, like, I got expertise. Listen to me. I've got, certificates and stuff. The point is where you're stuck in your negative thought patterns, comparing yourself to other people. Quit! That it has nothing to do with you. And as soon as you put anyone, including me, on a pedestal, no. Don't put anybody on a pedestal, because everyone has gas. You know what I'm saying? So at the height of my pretty, I think I look better now, actually. I feel better now than I did in my modeling days, for real. And I'm certainly healthier. But at the height of that was when the worst of the self-abuse and self-mutilation and self-hatred was. So think about that. Think about that when you're looking at your celebrities or your stuff, all the stuff out there that looks so pretty and looks so like beyond you, quit, because you have the magnificence in you and you can do whatever you want in your life. And right now, right here, right now, like, I mean, and it's like, okay, if you're going to see like, oh, wow, you have one of these, you could melt this down and make spoons out of it. What else are you going to do with it? Like, what else are you going to do with your life? So I will 100,000% tell you all of my secrets. That's why I started my membership. So like you can get into my private, and not that way. Shut your face. Look, you can get into my privates a couple times a week. Listen, so you get full, like you get like real time what's going on in the background, and also you get everybody else in here. The point is, giving you tools free. Like, I have a ton of stuff free. Please go watch all my archive. I hired a team to take all my 20 years of content and make it into a library that's really accessible and understandable, and it's not me. So because I got out of self-hatred, self-mutilation, like all the horrible self-negative la that I know that you have because I had it. So I'm going to tell you really quick ways to shut your face. Shut your face about all the little negative stuff going on in your head. Shut your face and replace it quickly so that you can elevate all levels of your life. Okay. So Cliff Notes is I took everything I've learned so far from everything and put it into a book and a website that I post on every week called meatmilkandmen.com, because I summed up all of my awareness and my healing and my catapulting forward with meat, milk, and men. It's really simple. It's also biblical if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But really, okay, let's look at meat, okay? I needed sustenance. I needed to fill my soul and my body and my mind with meat, not empty calories on all levels, including what I was putting in my mouth. So I went on a journey to really heal and live amazing, rich, abundant life. So having come from child sexual abuse, domestic violence, escaped again, like you got all the stories. We could tell all the stories all day long, and you and I could stay in our little room and tell each other all of our stories, and it would be highly entertaining and probably a movie and a TV series. I mean, it's so awful. But who wants to do that? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm into play and doing profound play with you. Okay. And I needed meat in order to get there. Now you might be a vegetarian, or you might have bought into the propaganda of bugs. God bless you. But when I realized that it was meat that I needed, figuratively and literally, and I started eating meat, real good meat, and befriending hunters, and actually changing my diet figuratively and literally and spiritually. Listen. And I started paying attention to everybody who was way ahead of me. Number one, shut your face on your negative thought patterns about yourself. Number two, actually their level, is stop taking advice or guidance or criticism from anyone who's not way ahead of you. That includes your family and your friends who don't know jack poo-poo. Because do they have $1 million business? Do they have a multi-award winning film? No. Do they have all the stuff? Have they gotten themselves out of trauma? No, they're still in it. Are they wealthy beyond measure? No, they're broke as hell. And they have a negative thought patterns coming out of their mouth like a poo-poo party. Nuh-uh. No. Do not listen or take advice or criticism from that. You hear me? That's rule number one. So I started going to people way ahead of me that had millions and millions of dollars and now billions of dollars. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing that I'm not doing? How can I get into that party? What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. That's the key. It's literally mindset and shifting your mindset and what you're putting in your mouth and how you're spending your time. And so I started playing with and paying attention to all my friends who are way ahead of me. Okay. And then I noticed a pattern. Men had it way better together than the women. And that doesn't mean oh no, women against men. This is why my book is called Meat, Milk, and Men. And I'm posting on it every week. Because the men had their together way more than the women. We could talk. We have a thesis on that. We could have a podcast and an album and all stuff to dive deep into that. But I will break it down for you and keep it real simple and tell you to go watch my science fair project when I was 12. And my science fair project when I was 12 pretty much sums it up of how we're living in a programmed and poisoned world in order to keep you stunted and dumb and sick and paying money. And then you eventually end up in the C word. Right? So that's a system that's built that we walk into and we unknowingly, you basically become a farm rat for these people up top, right? deep dive that. I talk a lot about it in my book, but the point is to get like cliff notes, get there faster is what can you do? What do you do? What do you do in this? You have to get out of that box and you have to get centered and balance your nervous system. What the F? I didn't even know there was 2 nervous systems. I didn't even know that. I'm going to be really honest. Until I started paying attention to the men who really, really have their shh together. Now, this is what I've noticed. The women who were, I got plenty of rich friends and goddesses around the world. They're amazing. I love them. I love them. Very, very, very few of them behind the scenes were balanced. It was behind the scenes, it's a hot mess. Or my favorite is women in their 30s who teach yoga. You need to run. You need to run. Side note, that's a side commercial. So many times behind the scenes, it's a hot mess. It's chaotic. It's not balanced at all, but you're putting on a front that you're balanced. So that's what I was like, I also noticed that with men who were putting on airs on social media, like their cars and the stuff. Those cars are rented. They borrowed that car. They don't live in that house. That's an Airbnb. Like all of it is just BS, right? It's like just total BS. And then behind the scenes, you're like, oh, wow, that's a hot mess. So I started going behind the scenes. I wanted to know behind the scenes, who is solid, like solid, stable, got their effing she together. And it was the men, y'all. It was the men. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I started paying attention to them. I was like, what are you doing? What are you putting in your mouth? It's meat. And how are you spending your time? How are you spending your time? And what are you putting in your mouth? And I will ask you the same things. How are you spending your time? And what are you putting in your mouth? P.S. When I was beating myself up the worst back in my modeling career, I was spending my time smoking a lot of cigarettes. I smoked a lot of cigarettes, which is anxiety and depression. And I spent a lot of time around people who treated me like crap. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad on repeat. You know what I'm saying? So, how are you spending your time? What are you putting in your mouth? And these men are all eating meat. They're all doing the same things, okay? They're eating meat. They're drinking raw milk. They're completely outside of the matrix of the system. They are going to farms and getting their food. They're like, I was like, oh, okay, I'll start doing that. And I started doing that. It's been 5 years now that I've been following this and like following them. Like I'm watching like wild animals in the night. And lo and behold, this really, really works. That's why I went ahead and put my book into like a Cliff Notes for you, because you know me, I'm gonna write an epic. It's gonna be like 5 million pages. And so I'm like, you know what? As this is like 3 million pages, I did the Cliff Notes for you to hurry your ass up and get on the program of Meat, Milk, and Men. And then it'll help you get balanced. So the balance part and why they're ahead of the women, and it's not competition. I'm just like, please teach me Meat, Milk, and Men, right? Listen to me. Every single one of those men that I met that have their lives together, they have a great relationship. Some of them are married, some are not. They have their businesses together. They're doing amazing things in the world. These are not just schmoes, right? They're doing amazing things. They're like me. They're like, oh my God, you're doing amazing things and you have amazing products and you're a really cool human. What are you doing that I'm not doing? Listen, every single one of those men spends 3 to 6 hours. I want you to really hear me. 3 to 6 hours. Ready? A day, 3 to 6 hours a day on their body, mind, spirit maintenance. Now I call it that because coming from self-abuse and self-hatred and all that stuff, the self-love and self-care, it just doesn't really resonate with me. I'm just like, I'm not that person. I'm like, I used to like, I'm not the one to put the Post-its of like, I love you, you're pretty, until now. But I wasn't the one to be in the like self-care boat. Like I those memes and stuff like self-care, love yourself. I just really am like, whatever. What's the task? I want to know what do you do? What do you do? Like, what do we do here? And I learned it with the men. 3 to 6 hours of body, mind, spirit maintenance. A minimum hour, minimum 3 hours with them, but a minimum an hour of your spiritual life. Shut your face. It was not oh, they do 5 million push-ups. It's not that they go, a lot of these dudes have lots of toys. Like they have like saunas in their house or like hyperbaric chambers. And it's like, I'm glad you have all that stuff. But it was not that. It was not that they had more money. It's not that they had like a lot of them, they're not trust fund babies. None of them. And they brought themselves up. They worked them, they're regular dudes that I watch that just have their F and sh together. And it's because they spend a minimum hour a day. This needs to be on repeat. You need to put this on a post-it. A minimum hour a day on their spiritual life. What the F? Like, I have a huge spiritual life. Ever since I was a little kid, I wrote about it in this book too. But I never put it on my calendar. Minimum an hour a day. I never did that because I come from workaholic mode. If you look at all my stuff in the library, and now I have a team working on my library, I have so much. I have books. I have I have kids shows. I have women's stuff. I have men's stuff. I have a prison movie. I have a golf movie. Look at it. I have like so much stuff. So I was like, I can get all kinds of stuff done. I'm a workaholic. I will get up before all of y'all and stay up later than all of y'all, and I'm getting it done. And I go to bed working and I wake up working. That was my life. And I am super spiritual when I made the time. And when I started watching these dudes spend a minimum hour a day, and that is their meditation. A lot of them are practice yoga. That's their, they go on a hike and then a cold plunge. They go meditate. They do their prayer work. Most of them love Jesus. And I was like, what? Like, how in the effing hey poo-poo weirdo, what in the hell calendar do I have? Do you have the time to do that? And also 3 to 6 hours of their body, mind, spirit maintenance. That's not work. That's work on your life and your spiritual. That's their, they'll sit in the sauna. They'll listen to binary beats. They play with their kids. Imagine. They go on a walk with their lover. They have long times dedicated. And I'm like, how? And I'm telling you again and again and again, I am baffled. As a workaholic, coming from self-abuse and self-hatred little hamster wheel, it made absolutely no sense to me. It makes no sense. It's still actually a little bit. I'm like, what? When you do your calendar and you put 3 to 6 hours, 6 hours if like you have an appointment and actually, you know what? Now I'm in like, let's go 12 hours, honestly. 3 to 6 hours focused on your elevation on all levels. And that is the meat, milk, and men. I was like, what? So I started doing it and I did it kicking and screaming. I did it kicking and screaming because I don't understand how you have a task list of all this stuff that needs to be done, and you have a kid, and you're a single parent, and you have your family, and you have the this, and and you have your own health, and you have the world, and you have all this stuff. How in the hey are you going to have 3 to 6 hours a day for yourself? What in the what? Like what? And I started doing it. I started doing it like it was my job because I was fascinated by them, the ones who had their F and shishi together. And I admire them, and I was like, how? And so they're, I just started doing what they're doing. I started eating meat, literally. Like I'm a carnivore. Changed my life. I'm a dirty carnivore. I cheat on certain things. Like I'm going to put it in my mouth. And I'm like, whatever. We'll deal with the ramifications later. This is going in my mouth. Listen, so you can do however you do yourself dirty. But the thing is to move from hating yourself and self-abuse and overworked and overstacked. Yes, I know you're just like me and you're doing like amazing things in the world. So I'm not like, but I know that if you're drawn to me, because I know you love me, I love you too, that you're doing the same thing, that you're stacked all up with your stuff. You've stacked, especially you women, especially the women, stacked with everybody else's stuff. Like everybody else's stuff comes before yours. and you've stacked yourself too high that you're overwhelmed and you're not sleeping and you're not eating well and you're blah 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 blah, and then you're depleted, and then the chaos continues. Listen, and you're in your sympathetic nervous system. Again, I didn't even know there was two nervous systems until I started watching these fellas. And I was like, what's up? And they're like, oh, balance your nervous system. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I didn't know there's a sympathetic nervous system. That's how I was born. I thought sympathetic. It's like socialism. It's got social in it. Isn't it nice? No. It's like sympathetic nervous system is your fight, flight, freeze, fawn. It's like, you're like, I'm ready for war. And I was like, I was born that way. I was literally born that way. I was born 4 pounds and 4 ounces with 50% chance of living at full term. So that literally I was a pitiful little thing with 50% chance of living. And now look at me. I'm 5'10", gorgeous, long legs, 36 inseam. And and I'm a whole bunch of hot momness. And it came from a 50% chance of living. So I was literally born into fight, flight, and then I went into child sexual abuse and then started in the independent movies. So what? And then I was in the fashion world. It was like trauma. And then intense trauma, overwork trauma in the worlds of work. So it's like I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I thought you just lived like that. You just live and I can do it. I can do it just like you. You're on the train and you can do it, and you can do the 5 million tasks, and we do it. You're amazing at it. Thank you. Thank you. I am amazing. But I was literally on a train. It was like a bullet train. The bullet train took off, and it's like, you're on it. And okay, well, now we're doing this, and now we're doing this, and now we're doing this. And we got to keep it all alive and keep it, you got to also survive. Whew. And so I learned from these fellas, your parasympathetic nervous system. I was like, what? What's that? That's your calm and collected. And so I started doing what they did. And I talk about it all the time. My friend Sean, who looks just like Jesus, he made this concoction for his girlfriend, who was a hot mess and who was addicted to benzos, and all his friends who are alcoholics. He made this supplement that basically gets GABA, which is your anxiety police. It gets it to your brain really fast. So he actually has a thing you can take to put you into your parasympathetic nervous system. And I started taking it. I took it for 5 months. Amazing. Like that. I can't even say enough things about that. It's called Regenerate. It's expensive, but so is your life. It's like the first taste I took of it, or the first dose I took of it to get GABA to your brain, to calm the F down. I never bought wine again. So that was like a bonus. He made it to where it removes the need to need something. And dealing with all of my trauma and my workaholic and all the stuff, I was also drinking. And I was also I was dealing with Screen Actors Guild, so I was definitely drinking. I can do a whole segment on that. And I took Regenerate, was following the dudes, what they're doing. I had 1 dose and I never bought wine again. Are you kidding me? So that saved me money, actually. Saved me a lot of money. And it was $200. It's like $200 or something. And totally worth it. But that's my accelerated bonus. That'll get you into your parasympathetic nervous system faster. But also it's you live your life on a new schedule. Shush. Listen, this is why I put my book out really right now. I break it down of okay, calm down. You're fine. This is how you can get 3 to 6 hours a day on yourself. This is how you can get ready. Ready? Say no. This is how you can say no. That's also a stretch these dudes have. They have a commitment. It's a non-negotiable commitment to their spiritual lives. This is what I do. Every single one of my movies is a sermon. All of what I've done my whole life is a preacher. That's what I'm doing. All my speaking engagements are going to church. But I never personally looked at it like that is your job. That's your job. Is your spiritual life is your job. Like all of this workaholic stuff, all this stuff, it's amazing what happens when you say no. Or you start to learn to delegate. Ah! Made me go. Seriously. So I learned so much by watching the people that were way ahead of me who had their F and she together, right? And it made a dramatic, beautiful, holy, wow difference in my life. Like I am unrecognizable in so many ways. And you know what it is? It's calm. It is the parasympathetic nervous system that I'm like, what? I didn't even know that you had that. Like seriously. And so now applying the intention and the beauty and the heart and the, oh my God, I want to save everybody. I know you have it too. Like that, like you want to take care of everybody, but yourself, because that's all your childhood stuff. Mm-hmm. And so when the clarity and calmness come into the workaholic thunderstorm, it magically calms it all. And guess what? I've written other books. I have another movie that I've written. I have a whole series. I have a whole, like, things that I still have gotten a lot done. In fact, I've gotten more done, honestly. It is a trick. It is a total, like, I don't understand how that happened. Like, all I can tell you is put your spiritual life first on your calendar in pen. In pen. And that's a hard no. That time is hard no. You're booked. Somebody tries to like show up and they've got a fire and they've got, oh, we need your attention. Or that would be the first time. I'll run. I'll save the dog. I'll do that. I'll take on all the projects and I'll make the movie and I'll raise the money for it and I'll do all of it. And to say, I'm booked already. I can talk to you at 2 is like, that's a huge flex. And for the men, it's like, just no. Like it's a hard no. They're not mean about it. It's just like, nope, I'm booked. And they might be booked and they're just literally sitting, doing nothing but meditating, which is a job. And I was like, wow. And you could have this whole like, well, they can do that because they have a wife. And no, they don't. Nope, not all of them. And that's not at all. In fact, the men, because I work a lot with male survivors and men, and I'm telling you right now, men don't have anybody. They have zero. When you ask them like, who's your backup? And like women, you know, you got somebody. There's something. There's some girl you're going to call and waste your time talking to. I mean, sorry. But the men don't usually. They have zilcho. And to watch them come from zilcho, it was staggeringly amazing. And it was putting your spiritual life first. That's it. You're welcome. So what does that mean? Hold on. What does that mean to you? So what does your spiritual life mean to you? And how can you put that on the calendar at least for an hour a day and turn it up to 3 hours and then go 6 hours? And then try to get, I mean, now I'm like, oh, I'm a 8. And you know what's crazy? In the calm, amazing, centered, place was when all the money came in. It was like, it is such a catch-22. And the catch-22 is just calm and breathe. And get into your parasympathetic nervous system. And then, strangely, your work is elevated. I mean, riddle me confused. But this is why I wrote a book about it, Meat, Milk, and Men. And the meat was the meat, like I needed sustenance. The milk was getting out of the system. Like, so if you drink regular old milk from the supermarket, you're going to have because of all the stuff they put in it and the pasteurization and all the stuff coming from the creepy weirdos that control things. What? Go see my science fair project when I was 12. So then you get sick. You have all these health issues and you dairy issues and blah, blah, blah. But then you drink raw milk and none of that happened. None of it. I don't have any of the issues. That is a lesson figuratively and literally. So like I literally only drink raw milk now and I make food out of it. I make the most delicious food. I'm an amazing cook. I make the most delicious things out of meat and milk for men. So, and the milk was so symbolic because it's biblical also, like if you want to go down that rabbit hole. And it's like the milk of spirit, and also getting out of the BS lies. That if you haven't figured out that we're being lied to, I mean it. So it's like, well, I drink the milk. Okay, I drink the milk. And men, listening to men, honoring men, following men, and getting out of this whole men are bad, men are toxic, because that programming has come from here to keep you separated from the good men. So I took my 300-page whatever thesis I'm going to end up doing about this, because it's a really big topic, meat, milk, and men, and I put it into 82 pages. It's Meat, Milk, and Men. If you go to meatmilkandmen.com, right up at the top, link, download the book. Download it, put it on your laptop, and go through the pages, and I'll show you how to do your calendar, how to do your trauma calendar, okay, and start noticing how much time and money you spend on your trauma. Yeah, I know, and so that you can elevate faster, because I have a whole bunch of things happening. I didn't want you to wait for me to finish writing a book, honestly. I'm telling you, Meat, Milk, and Men. Look at me. I'm in my 50s. I'm 52. My body looks fierce naked. You can't see it. But the point is, coming from the perceived perfect world, right? The perceived, when I was on the cover of magazines and working, I was on the runway with Linda Evangelista and Christy Turlington and Naomi Campbell and all those people. I was just, back. But so coming from that perceived prestigious place that was a hot mess, into living like I freaking love my life. I'm in love. I live in love. My speech in Greece is how I live. And I can put a link to that. That is the answer, is to be in love. And I was being in love and getting out of sympathetic nervous system into parasympathetic nervous system, following the men. And it really did sum it up for me. Meat, Milk, and Men. So I offer you that. Get my book. It's $9.95. And if you're like, I ain't spending $9.95, well then don't. I love you. Then look at where you can spend 3 to 6 hours a day on your body, mind, spirit maintenance. I mean it. Really, 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 really. And then the catch-22, the total, I still don't understand how it happens. I get more done. Explain it. I don't know that part. I'm learning. So I'm showing you what I'm learning and how I'm showing up real time, and so that you can go faster and have more fun than I did. That's my commitment, because I am an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes. So the foolish, like me, who are in the self-abuse and self-hatred and stuck in this all the stuff of not even living your life fully. Hi, I see you. Same. And now look, I have a nice bra on too, and I'm about to make some amazing meat and milk, and I want to put that in your brain. I love you, and yes, I know I've had all of the emails and all the stuff is changing, and you're like, where have you been? Listen. There's a lot of bad people in this world who don't want good information. And that is also a story. It's also a story you can get stuck in. And I ain't playing in that party. I'm like, nah, I see you. And I see how I've been banned and canceled and all this stuff in the past. And I see now. I'm coming from my parasympathetic nervous system, how I can do my soul mission to help survivors elevate out of all this tragedy and live a joyful life no matter what you've been through. That remains my mission. That always has been. And I'm how can we do this in the face of all the perpetrators who don't want the information out? Duh, because once the information gets out and survivors elevate, there's way more of us than there are of them, y'all. Imagine all survivors, because this is what I imagine. This is why I'm making this video. Imagine all survivors who've been through all the stuff that caused all of the self-abuse and self-hatred. That came from CSA, y'all. It didn't magically appear that you're self-abusing and hating yourself. No, that came from an original prick, let's say. And so it's happening. As survivors wake up and realize that they've kept themselves stuck because of the perpetrators, and survivors make a big shift, and that's my plan. Like, that's what I'm doing. It's like, hey, like, shifting you out of it really fast so that you elevate your body, mind, and spirit really fast. And survivors do that, and it energetically eradicates the perpetrators. Watch. Just watch it happen. It says, I get goosies all over my body. Watch that happen as you're becoming more calm and in love in your life, and it actually eradicates perpetrators. I mean, it's quite fun, really. It's quite fun. We're in the fun part, y'all. So, Meat, Milk, and Men. I offer you. I love you. Read my book, Meat, Milk, and Men. It's not a printed yet because I haven't done it because I'm doing other things. Because I'm gonna go do nothing. but read my book, meatmilkandmen.com. And then AngelaShelton.com. It's all being changed. Oh my God, it's like out of my hands. It's like an amazing team. I'm a little bit beside myself. So I have my membership. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like $27 or something. Do that. Come into my lives weekly and then have your freaking amazing catharsis. Change your whole life. Do it for 1 week. And I mean, you're welcome. Because whatever nugget that you take, that I give you, you take in your life and you share it. And we're like sharing the gold, you're just like sparing the gold. And I love you. And I challenge you to find 3 to 6 hours a day for yourself. Minimum. Start an hour. If you go crazy, you're like, whoa, I don't have that. And then let's like have a competition with each other. Like, I got 8 hours today. I got 9. What'd you do? Oh, I love you. So, Meat, Milk, and Men. What are you putting in your mouth, and how are you spending your time? Those are big questions. And the simpler the question, the bigger the answer usually. Like, it's like, wow, what are you putting in your mouth? And how are you spending your time? For real. I love you.